Hi everyone, my name is Kylie Galero and I love lighthouses. Lighthouses have become a way for my mom and I to bond after my dad passing in 2013. When we started coming up to northern Michigan, where I now live, we started to go to lighthouses around the area. So far, we have been to about a dozen, um, and we would love to go see more. Um, and they're very rich with history, and it's very interesting to learn about lighthouses and how they've helped our path through life, through the water, and also they've helped with the weather as well. So, when it comes to education, that becomes very important to me, especially with living in the Great Lakes state. For example, I have gone to Whitefish Point Lighthouse this past October in 2024. Whitefish Point is one of the oldest lighthouses in Michigan. It was first operated in 1849, where it helped navigate ships through the waters, helping them to make sure they didn't crash into any reefs or rock or any in treacherous waters. A little fun fact that you should know is that there are 129 lighthouses in Michigan. That's more than any other state in the US. Now, for the history of lighthouses and the importance of them in our heritage. There are around 700 lighthouses throughout the United States. Some of these architectural wonders guide boats around the coasts of the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, and some are beacons for lakes and waterways. Wherever they're located, these buildings always provide assistance for boats and water vessels navigating the waters, according to Jessica Smith's article in 2022. The first lighthouse was built in 1764, which is called the Sandy Hook Lighthouse, which was built in New Jersey, which there are also many other functional lighthouses today. All of the functional lighthouses are automatic and operated by the Coast Guard. However, there is one that is still man operated today, which is located in Boston. And we'll get into that later. Now, the non-functional ones and some of the functional ones have been made into museums, which have helped in the education of lighthouses. When it comes to being educated about lighthouses and knowing where they come from and why they exist, it's very important to know that without these buildings, we wouldn't have the type of waterways that we have now, and we wouldn't have the type of ships that could navigate these waters now. And because of these lighthouses and how they monitor water and monitor even the weather, this has helped a lot throughout our history. Now, it's important to also note that even with these lighthouses, there were still some shipwrecks that happened, especially back in the early days of lighthouses when things were still so new and things we just didn't know and we didn't expect. According to an article from the Michigan, according to an article from the Michigan government website. Despite building dozens of lighthouses in the late 1800s and early 1900s, Michigan still saw numerous shipwrecks due to the primitive navigation technology and the unpredictability of the weather on the Great Lakes. It's a The Great Lakes are the probably the most dangerous lakes that you can navigate upon. They have high waves, lots of rock, um, treacherous waters. A lot of time you don't know what's in the lakes, so it's very unsafe to navigate without some sort of monitoring system. The Boston Lighthouse, the, called the Boston Light, is the only lighthouse still working today with a lighthouse keeper. In 1989, there was a law passed that mandated that the lighthouse had to be operated by a person rather than automated like the rest of the operational lighthouses. The Boston Light is also the oldest lighthouse in the US. However, it was destroyed at one point and it had to be rebuilt, according to Carlson in 2019. Um, in the article, though, it does specify that the first 10 feet or so are original of the lighthouse, and the rest is what had to be rebuilt. In conclusion, the lighthouses have been around for centuries and have gained popularity amongst tourists. They have allowed for people to learn how we came here from other countries and for how we continue to traverse water as safely as possible. Lighthouses are useful, significant, and historical landmarks. Without lighthouses and their significant part in our history and continued use, we would not have made as much progress with water navigation alone as we have nowadays. I hope my speech has been illuminating for you for lighthouses, to know about lighthouses and to understand the importance of them and to maybe go and see one for yourself. And just know that any money that you put forward towards lighthouses, and if you have to pay for a fee at a lighthouse to go see a museum, it goes towards the maintenance of the lighthouses and making sure that they are still operational and kept up. Thank you.